Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting our Knight of Santiago, our hacker for the group of guys that we're using. So yeah, this should be pretty cool. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with our German field gray for the underneath of the... Oh god. I feel like I had this problem last time too. For the undersuit / wiring and sorry, still getting over whatever this thing is that I have. So we're just gonna start off getting the undersuit. I'm happy with where our paint scheme is going. I like the look of my two models that I've painted so far, and I can definitely see my whole army being painted like this. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep pushing through here, and trying to see what's armor and what's like not. Sometimes you just have to make a decision on your own when painting to just figure it out. Get all that stuff. It's like the top suit should be fine. Nothing on the neck that we can see. Should probably paint that. Okay. So now we'll get our ultramarine blue. Boop. Okay, and then we'll start picking out the armor plates for our first coat on here. Just thinning it on my palette a little bit better. Let's get this piece. Evie, what are you snorting for? My little snorty dog. And we'll get the back piece here. For here, just looking what we did with that piece. Oh, it like sticks out weird. Okay, so we're gonna get that. Hey! Always when I start doing stuff, she says, I'm gonna follow you wherever you go. It's like partly like, aw, but then like, I'm like, I need to do this. And then we get the back piece of the cushion area again there. Same thing here, we just get the whole back piece. Just fill that in. We're leaving those like little circles open. Make sure we get the other side there. While we're here, Evie, hey, get away from that, please. You would think that maybe I would have moved my things by now so that she couldn't eat them, but I have not. So they're still in prime doggy eating territory. Is that a thing or is that a... I don't know. It's hard to tell what's flashing and what's not sometimes on these guys for me. Anyway, I'm like, did I do this right? Did I clean it wrong? Let's get this arm all painted. This is the hacking device, I'm assuming. Get the elbow pad here. That's like a glove situation. Not really sure what's going on there. It's definitely not like this hand. So this hand is more like the traditional gloves that we've been painting. So let's get that. Oh. And for the sorry, still pretty gross here. Let's get the chest piece down there, and let's get like this part blue. So this is helping me kind of figure out more areas that need that World War II gray on them. Okay, and then we're gonna get most of the face mask except the little eye part right now. This is going on really thin right now, so we'll definitely, I mean, we're doing 2 coats anyway, but if you didn't think we were before, we'll definitely have to do it now. And then we will, I'm gonna leave those open, but we're gonna paint this. Whole section right here. And really quick, while we let that sit a little longer to dry, we'll get some of that gray back on our brush here, and we'll tidy up some of these areas like the jacket here, like the underclothes here, and then like the in-between, some of these little armor pieces right here, just to make it a little bit more coherent of a piece. It's fine there. Okay. Now we'll go on to our second coat here. We'll start by going where we started last time. I need more paint on here. There's not a lot on here. We're just getting all the spots that were blue before. Just getting them with the second coat of paint. That's all we're doing. I know I've poo-pooed like using 2 thin coats before, and I still don't think I use 2 thin coats. If I'm being honest, my coats are pretty thick. I mean, obviously we're not losing detail here, but you know, you can go a little heavier than you think for consistency on paint and still save a lot of consistency and also help with your coverage as well. Make sure we're getting that chest piece in there. So we're just quickly moving through this. These second colors here, our second coat. I don't really know what's going on his face. Can't really tell what's going on in there. We can maybe be able to figure it out better once we get other colors going on in there, but right now I am confused. We're just getting this nice. There we go. That's our second coat of the blue. Now we're gonna go to our leather brown. To get, well, first of all, I noticed that I didn't notice it. I noticed it by looking at the pictures. There was a spot on this guy, on the last week's guy. There is right here, that's a belt. So, just wanna get that. While we're here, while we're using the colors anyway. And then we'll go into, oh, we missed a spot with the blue, but we'll have to go back in a second. Right now we're gonna look for straps. So that goes for this piece right here, this piece right here. There's not a ton on this, but there is a few. This piece right here is one. And this piece right here looks to be going to this rifle. And once we start the coverage of it, we can maybe find out where it goes. Okay, that gets tucked under there, so that's fine. Okay, so we'll go back to the blue now, because we forgot his crotch. Because his crotch, unlike the other ones, is not covered with armor. Unlike his companions. I'll go back into the brown, and then there's like some belt in there. Kind of. And then how did we do the scabbards here? Okay, I see, okay. So this section here is the strap that we're connecting with right here. And then we have the holster, actually, almost forgot about that. Can't forget about the holsters. Okay, so that should be our brown. Now we can get our white. And then we'll get those little standout pieces that we always kind of target and pick out. For this one, we're going to do the knee pads, or these knee things. I don't know what these are. I wouldn't really call them knee pads because they're not attached to the knees, but and then let's get the majority of these painted white as well. We don't have to be the same on everybody, like which parts are covered. It's nice to give them some personality and some uniqueness every once in a while. So that's what we're gonna do here. Okay. And we'll just keep searching through the model to find good candidates for the white. I think we're also going to be doing, well, we have to do this like goggly thing that he's got on, his hacking device. We'll get like the front of his mouth. And hopefully when we wash that, it cleans it up and looks better than this, because if you guys are saying that looks like shit, I agree with you right now. But we're gonna trust the process, and we're gonna give them also, the antennas on my guys are gonna be white. That's gonna be the one consistent thing, Captain America style. Always gotta throw it back to Captain America somehow. And then we don't want these to be white because we don't want to cause issues, but the scabbards on my guys are white. You may be saying to yourself, why doesn't that scabbard look like it goes all the way? Well, because I didn't know what part was flashing and what part was model when I was cutting it from the sprue, so I messed it up a little bit. So there. Paint this white as well because it's gonna have to take the contrast paint. And so are these little dots. So we're gonna get these kind of figured out a little bit. And I think that's probably good for the white. Oh, you know what, here, there's also part of the armor down here that we'll get as well. So okay. Then we go on to our red, which is our dark vermilion. And we'll start filling in the rest of the armor that we didn't get earlier. Those little bits that we didn't cover with the white or the blue. We're just going through those and hitting them with the red now. And I would love this cat hair to not live in my palette. I don't know how it keeps getting in there. It's probably from the towel that I use to wipe my brushes on, if I'm being honest. Because it's the only thing that's like out and exposed. Get all of that. And there's also part of the armor down here. Like that. Finish up this pack right here. Get this bit of the armor down there like we did on the other side. I think we can kind of see it here. Oops. We'll have to clean that. Let's clean our brush really quick while we still have it here. I'm gonna hit that, get that away. Same thing with our blue here. Want to clear that off there. We'll go back to our red and get those little indents that are in the hand bits right there. Okay. Now let's get our metallics. Get our gunmetal. And we are going to get the sword. We'll get this little thing in the back there. And for the gun, which I think might be a Spitfire, we're just going to get some of the parts that are more metallic-y. I think, you know, instead of putting white on his face right here, we'll fill it with some metallic color. I think it might look better when this is all washed and stuff. Back to the reds really fast. Gotta get these elbow pads. And then we gotta go to our brass color. Just to get the little parts of the scabbard here that we didn't get. And then we get the feet. And look at the hands. And if you remember last week, we didn't paint the scabbard end on him. So just really quick over here, we can just hit the end of it right there. So one good thing about having a coherent army is just that all the colors kind of share with each other. All right, so now what we're gonna do is go into the gray, the medium sea gray. I almost forgot this step. I was like, what are we doing now? We have to paint the whole cape. So let's get our paintbrush ready and start painting our cape. Okay, we gotta distinguish here now between the scabbard and the cape. So we're just gonna do that. Which I think was a good divide right there. Let's go through the rest of this. flip it around here. To get the inside. Okay. We go back to our brown because we have another connection of the belt here. Then we have our dark gray for the guns. Actually missed a spot with the gray here. Just because the gun is on it. There we go. So now we will take our Doomfire Magenta contrast paint. We're just gonna put it right on top of these little orbs we got going on here. For Mr. Hackerman, I'll clean that off with water there. And then we're gonna get into our deep sky blue for the little highlights of the blue. We don't really highlight any of the other colors just because we want the blue to stand out. Blah, 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 blah. Insert excuse here. You can see this really helps it come alive. Helps all these colors pop. It doesn't have to be the same on each one. Just finish that edge there. Those edges. And for the crotch, we can just kind of dry brush in there. And then we get our washes. So, you know the deal. It's Known Oil for the body, and then we're using Imperial Fist contrast for the blade. We only have to use the yellow because the sword isn't out of the scabbard yet all the way. So we just put a little yellow there. And then we just wash the rest of it. So we'll use a bigger brush for the wash like we did last time. Just get that. Dab it off a little bit. Get our feet, make sure we get our feet really good. These brass colors, we don't really want to pop out that much, be as vibrant as they are. So, and you can highlight after you do the wash, but I think it's fine to do it before too. It just depends on how bright you want your highlight to be. And for us, I think what we have is pretty good. Just gotta get the whole model covered in the wash. And we'll get to the back here. Get the guns, the blaster. Get it from pooling too much in some areas. Let it pool in other areas if you want. The gloves there. Make sure we're getting the chest piece that's kind of tucked in there. Get this head and hope some of this stuff kind of pops out from it. And then we'll get the ears. And that should be it. That is how we paint our Knight of Santiago. I have one more guy to paint for my strike team or whatever they're called for my first game. But as always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All this will dull down and get the shine down and hopefully pop up in there. And I can fix some of that as it dries. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one.